Where do I start? You know, the reason why I didn't want to paint yesterday, I did want to paint yesterday, but the energy that I felt yesterday was very green, and I don't have a green paint. Not at all. I don't have a green color. I don't do that. So I didn't paint. Welcome to my multidimensional living room. I will be painting energies. If something speaks to you, if something helps you orient yourself, navigate your earthly existence or multidimensional existence, interdimensional existence, interuniversal existence, intergalactical existence. I don't go that far usually. If something helps you, if something speaks to you, if something helps you understand yourself and love yourself and those around you a little bit better, then that's great. And if it doesn't, then it's from somebody else. Use your intuition, use your discernment. I love being here. So I'm outside of this 𝑓𝑒𝑒𝑒𝑙𝑠 living room. I'm working on 2 other projects right now, and it's a little bit a lot. It's a lot. It's not just that working on 2, actually 3 projects is a lot. It's just that life is a lot also, you know, there's a lot of things going on, personally, globally, everywhere around. And my guides, spirits, they usually whisper into my ears and letting me know what to paint and what's the topic of the paintings before I even come here. They didn't really bother me. Just like a few paintings ago, I started by saying that I thought that I have nothing to say, but then they all gathered up and gave me all the information and all the energies to put in here. And the same thing today. And I gotta say, they're really respectful. So when I have a lot of things to do and to focus on, and a lot of mental space already preoccupied with practical, earthly, physical things that I gotta do, they don't come and they don't bother. They don't try to distract me. They let me live my human life, which I really appreciate a lot. But then I found myself in this moment of realizing, oh, I gotta paint. And by default, I thought that I have nothing to paint because nobody told me anything. And I almost, like for a second, I was ready to come here to tell you that I don't know what I'm painting because nobody told me anything, and not just that, I was ready to tell you that I feel even a little bit cut off from what's happening in the ether because I'm busy living the human part of the experience. But as soon as I sat here to collect myself and see where am I and what's going on in the ether and why am I not seeing it, and basically to prepare myself to come here, that saying that I don't know what's going on because I'm too busy was kind of like a shield. It was kind of like I can't know what's going on because it's kind of like an excuse that was completely unnecessary and completely removed from me. So as soon as I prepared myself to voice, don't leave me. As soon as I prepared myself to come here, all the energies that I will be painting today, all of them were right here. And I just needed to stop having any kind of I can't because, and just grab them and put them down. This is instead of green, blue on brown paper. There were several things that I've foreseen for this painting. Let's see what comes first and how it moves. It's just basically me syncing myself with the painting. Nothing's coming out. It's not that nothing is going on. I see it all at once, but I need to. Although I already did sit in silence a little bit before coming here, I'm getting a hint of like a completely new paradigm happening. It's one of those, like, when your soul is kind of, you're standing somewhere on the planet and your soul is being like, hey, look there, that direction. And then you see it and you see it clearly. It's clear as day. It's like you can see yourself in the future and you get this whole body knowing that that's exactly where you need to go, right? And this whole body knowing comes with this sensation of, it's basically excitement, exhilaration. It's like almost like, it's like a wake-up call. It's like, oh my god, like I'm so done with being here and I'm so ready to go in that direction. And it's very downloadable. It's not like something that, it's not an upgrade that kind of happens in the unseen realms and then you can't put a finger on it. You can't really find concepts or language or vocabulary to put in a sentence what's happening. Often that happens, and I often struggle when people ask me, hey, how are you doing? And I'm like, how do you want me to put everything into one sentence? It's just like, no, I'm not going to answer a question. But this is not like this. It's very real because it gives you direct information about what do you need to do, what do you need to finish, what do you need to set up, how do you need to position yourself, like what do you need to change, what do you need to tackle. And it often, like for me personally, when I find myself in this kind of situations where something is being like a new life chapter is being unlocked and presented and being like, there you go, it first and foremost comes with the sense of I need to clear my apartment, like not just like a little bit, but like completely, like, yeah, like paint the closet or get a new closet or just like change something drastically. And now when I'm looking, like this is how it comes to me. It always comes through the space that I'm living in. I always feel inspired to clean. But that also reflects the internal state of being. So it's not just cleaning the apartment, but also cleaning your thoughts or how you relate to things. Yeah, because I'm seeing also, like, if you have some area of your life where you've been struggling for a very long time and you kind of accepted it as, yeah, that's just how it is. Yeah. It's like now when this new direction is open to you and you see yourself there and you see yourself from there back here, you also have very downloadable information how you can get yourself out of here. Or if not yet how, at least you know that that's not a space where you belong. And now you're relating to yourself from that space that might appear in the future, but it's here. And that space over there, it's kind of like a completely new configuration of yourself. It's like you don't think the same way. And I'm getting that even like this new paradigm is kind of a little bit maybe radical, where like if you've been struggling in this area and you've been in this frequency of like, yeah, I'm trying, I'm, you know, like I'm doing, I'm hustling, you know, I'm hoping, maybe not, it is what it is, kind of like that energy. It's like now there is like a radical change into, I know exactly what I'm doing. Showing up even if I don't feel like it. It's like discipline, but it's not even a discipline in terms of like you don't force yourself to do it, you just do it because you know it's the right thing to do. It's yeah, it's like when you really start devoting yourself to something that matters to you, like you don't have time for bullshit anymore. It's like you're not available. You don't make yourself available for procrastination or for, I don't know, gossiping or, I don't know, wasting time for with no purpose in it. You know, it's that kind of a vibe. Yeah. That's what I'm getting as clearing the space. Like you're clearing spaces from yourself. If you've been putting yourself in spaces where you shouldn't be putting yourself there, it's like you are collecting yourself into places where you should go. Yeah, I hope that makes sense. Let me know. That's sticky. Okay. Okay. So I'm getting some sort of, I don't feel like this is the end result. It feels like a passing state of recognizing this new direction where you're going that is being shown to you, and kind of recognizing the pattern and remembering that type of all body knowing that this is where you need to go, you've been getting already in life before a few times. Because as I'm saying, like this, it seems like a really big paradigm. It's not just, you know, something passing. It feels big. It feels like, you know, like in life, I would say when it comes to some things, like for example, let's say partners, you don't get to fully, truly, deeply, madly, substantially, in the long-term way, you don't get to fall in love for real, but like for real, super many times. It's like those major arcanas happen only a few times in life. Like to some people, even never. To some people, once. To some people, a few times, but it's not something that happens like every month or so. And if it does, then it's not what I'm talking about. So it's that kind of a paradigm shift of like, this happens only, it doesn't happen always. Like, it comes to me now that this might be happening for you. I don't know if that resonates for you, let me know. But I'm getting the 4 of Cups card, where it might have happened before one time, second time, third time, and now it's the 4th time. And now it's like you're sitting there and the option is being open to you, offered to you, and you're like, yeah, but it already happened this, and this time, and it was always like, it never really delivered what it promised. Like, it always presented itself like, yay, happiness, 10 of Cups, and then it turned out to be a lesson or a learning curve or entertainment or just filling the space or you name it. Kind of like, I don't know why did this happen, it just happened, but it never really delivered, and it left you in this passing state. I'm getting that it's a passing state. It's not a fixed identity of I don't want to play anymore. Yeah. Interesting. The sound of this paint, it was as if it was like telling a story and then it stopped. And basically what it says is that, what did it say? I need a sec. Yeah, it's this feeling of like you don't know which way's up. Almost kind of like frozen, kind of like stuck. It's like there is a part of you that tells you, yeah, go for it. And then there's a part of you that says like, yeah, but... And I'm hearing that you gotta let yourself be proven wrong. You know, there is people who... I don't know, pay attention. Did somebody show up in your reality just quite recently? Like, it's not somebody that you don't see such people maybe all the time, but once in a while somebody like this pops up in your reality just to showcase that skill and ability that I'm going to talk about. And that's this ability to lie and fabricate and avoid so much. Like, somebody is willing to like do whatever it takes in terms of lying, even if it's embarrassingly obvious, but they're willing to lie instead of admitting that they were wrong. It's like going an extra mile in lying and fabricating and trying to make things a certain way and putting extra effort in like building the picture of it, rather than admitting that they don't know or that they did it wrong or that yeah. It's like needing to be right more than needing to be happy. And so in this passing state here, you need I feel like it's a sacrifice. It's like you need to allow yourself to be wrong. And that's something that brings more justice. So like if you have like 3 cups that are already like, nah, it was not worth it. It's not that it's not worth it, they basically prepared you for the 4th cup. But for a moment you refuse to see it because you remember the pain more than you remember the gain. And I acknowledged for a second, like, what a rhyme, and then I stopped the flow. Okay. I need a second. So you remember the pain more than you remember the gain. It wasn't for nothing. It'll come to me. It'll come to me. Exactly. So, so if it was the 3 cups where they're not fully delivering what they promised, and it seems like not fair, allowing yourself to be proven wrong out of this experience is what can make things fair again. Yeah. But I'm also getting that it's not just these 3 cups. There must have been at least 1 cup somewhere, maybe in another chapter of life, maybe in another dimension, maybe in another area of life, where you were presented a cup and you drank out of it and you actually got fulfilled. So basically what I'm aiming at is knowing how to play this game, because it does feel like a game. It's like your soul is calling you, like, hey, go in this direction. And when you look in that direction, you get the whole body knowing feeling that that's where you need to go. And it's literally on moment-to-moment basis. Now, how do you live your life knowing that that's where you're going? You start by cleaning your apartment. Maybe you don't know which thoughts you don't think, but it reveals itself as you go. An old friend calls you and be like, hey, do you want to come over and smoke a joint? And you're like, I'm going there. We don't smoke joints over there. And suddenly, like, if smoking a joint was something that was like, wow, super appealing to you, you're like, no, actually, I'm gonna go and design my own clothes. I don't know. You name what you gotta do. Clean a washing machine or behind it. Yeah, it feels like a game. Feels like a game. Feels like a game. And it feels good to say that it feels like a game. 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 Feels good to say that it feels like a game, and it feels good to touch this corner of the painting because it feels like a game. Yeah. And this passing state is a part of the game too. And now I see the contrast of red and blue, my favorite one. I see how the colors didn't really mix, but they just kind of blended. I mean, they're all over each other. Sometimes it's hard to say where one starts and when the other one ends. Sometimes it's obvious. but they're also, it's clear to say what is blue and what is red. Yeah, because there's no other color except my skin color. But it's crispy. I'm getting, what's that? It's like if there's some sort of dynamic happening with somebody right now, like now, around now, where you're at one side of the dynamic and you're wondering, why is this happening? Because, you know, this dynamic has not been a part of your experience for quite some time and you thought you've healed it or something. And I don't get a sense that it's new, it's something that is like, you know, it marked your life. Yeah. And now it's here again. And you're like, yeah, but I've changed. Beside the fact that, you know, sometimes like things happen from the past into the present so that you can more so calibrate yourself for your future, for your new self, for your new configuration of self, so you can like stabilize yourself into this change that you created for yourself, within yourself, out of yourself. So it's kind of there to solidify your new state, so that it's not in the background of your mind somewhere, like operating through subconscious mind. It shows itself so that you know what's out there in the world, so that you know what you're dealing with, and so that you know yourself even better. Because if it disempowers you and you get angry and be like, yeah, but I've dealt with this already, like, why is this here already? It's like you're not being fully present in yourself. So it's kind of like, as much as it might be a destabilizing experience because it removes you from your new configuration into like dealing with the past again, that much it's also an opportunity for you to bring yourself fully into the presence of self, where the most important part is that you know that you won't abandon yourself to something that you don't want to be abandoned to. Yeah. And I'm also getting that this type of a dynamic, why is it important that it's now? Because it's like if it's happening now, you might have been on the other side of that dynamic somewhere earlier in time. And I'm getting like much earlier, maybe like school days, childhood days. Because I'm getting a clear example of kids, you know, like for example, okay, so this is a clear example. Let's say somebody comes to you with like, hey, can you give me 5 years? But they come every day, you know, so it's like once you give them 5 years and it's okay. The second time you give them 5 years and it's okay. Third time you're like already like, you know, you don't want to give 5 years. And it's kind of like this weird situation where like you don't want to give the money because you already gave it and it's not fair that you have to give it. But then if you don't give the money, then you feel kind of guilty and you feel sorry for that person, but you also at the same time you don't want to parent them because you also don't want to parent them either. It's just kind of, you're just kind of like, why don't you just leave me alone? It's that kind of a dynamic where it seems like, so the camera stopped recording right at the start, right at the time when I was about to swear, so maybe that's a good thing. Yeah, I was talking about, didn't mean to, I was talking about how this situation, this dynamic seems like it doesn't have an exit and you're like, where is it? yeah, looking for an exit out of this dynamic and wondering why are you there in the first place. And although the answer, like how to get out of this dynamic, might be literally like right in front of your nose, like talk to just anything or anybody and they'll be like, yeah, it's easy, just do that. I'm getting that how you can intrinsically, like from within, figure out the way out of this dynamic, although you might need help of something external, you may also not. If you remember any time in life prior, like childhood days, school days, that's what I'm getting, where you've been on the other side of that dynamic. So for example, you might have come to school sometimes and forget your pencils, and then you came to your friend and be like, hey, can you give me a pencil? And then they give you a pencil one day, and then the second day you forget a pencil again, and they're like, they give you the pencil the second time. And then the third time you come in, can you give me a pencil? And they're like, nope. And then you have to ask somebody else to give you a pencil. And then you also notice that maybe this person kind of removed themselves and they don't want to hang out with you anymore. And as a child you were like, why don't they want to hang out with me anymore? And maybe as a child you didn't really realize why don't they want to hang out with you anymore. But maybe as an adult now you can look back and realize why. But more about the realization of why, it's about that they were showing you right from the start how to clearly set boundaries, how to say no without over-explaining it. Yeah. Perhaps they never really called you out like, hey, I don't want to give you a pencil because you always forget your pencils and it bothers me. Because it puts me in a position that I need to take care of you, and I don't want to take care of you because I'm not your mother. I'm a child just like you are, and someone else should take care of you and make sure that you have pencils before you go to school, but nobody's doing this for you, so something like that. They never told you this, but they did pinpoint what's on the other side of being on this dynamic where one side is giving a little bit more than the other side, and the other side, it's like one, I wouldn't say that one side is giving a little bit more, it's more that one side is taking a little bit more and sucks the life out of the other side, and the other side is the one that needs to say, no, I'm not available to this. I'm not available for this. I'm not doing this. No. I'm sure you'll find it somewhere else. I'm sure you will find your €5 or a pencil somewhere else. Ask somebody else. Without even explaining why you don't want to give it. Without entering the conversation about the dynamic itself. So you just let it play out. But now you're playing differently. So that's also part of the game. Yeah. Cool. The glitter immediately brought me back into this into the last painting where I used glitter, which was the one where I didn't feel like talking. That's the museum vibe. Yeah. I feel like I'm repeating myself, but I'm really not. I'm using just the same word for another energy. And that's ease. Yeah, I'm sensing a lot of ease that comes with this new paradigm. It's as if like you are learning how to have it easy. It feels dangerous. Oh, I get. Feels dangerous because it's kind of like directly provoking the safety mechanisms that are installed within you. Okay. What a ridiculous human experience to see ease as dangerous. That's just... I've been seeing a few other quite ridiculous human experiences today. I'm not sure if I want to bring them into this painting. No. If I wanted to say it, I should have said right from the start, but no. Next time. But that's when life feels like a game, when you have a lot of ridiculous experiences. I'm seeing that bird that comes in spring. I don't know the English word for that bird, but you know, the white one that has a big nose and apparently it brings babies to the planet. Or apparently there's like a fairy tale kind of thing, I guess. That one, the one that shows up as like a sign of a spring. I see it drinking water in some sort of a forest. There is something foresty, springy going on here. Yeah. I think it kind of adds into this energy of new paradigm whatsoever. It's like a feeling of something new before it's even here. It's like it's still winter at the time of recording this, but I see spring in the painting. It's like you're already seeing where you're going. And it's like you're already feeling that here. It's like this distance between, yeah, but I'm still here and this is who knows when in the future. No. It's like we don't operate in that space anymore. It's just, it's here. It's here now. I see eyes, like multiple eyes, seeing it all. And just in general, I feel a lot of like forward momentum taking place. There's something missing though. I guess that's the sun. Why? I guess I painted the sun. I feel my heart activating. And there's no information about why, where, how, who, when. I'm just feeling my heart. It has to do with this lifeline that has been marked with that dynamic. It's kind of like the focus and awareness is at that lifeline. Maybe there's a need to bring heart into this situation and to kind of holistically make sense where it's not like you versus the other person. It's a dynamic that is playing out. And that can be switched if it hasn't been switched before already. It's kind of like you can get a full picture of it, and once you get a full picture of it, it's hard to get annoyed by it. No, it's still possible to get annoyed by it, and annoyance is kind of like it's a part of the game. It's even honorable to get annoyed. But it doesn't consume you. It doesn't take the best out of you. It works for you rather than against you. Voice, don't leave me. Although I'm pretty much done soon. It does feel good. It does kind of, it brings love to the situation. It leaves you in love, kind of thing. I guess it's one of those situations where you struggle with it, you're bothered by it, you complain about it, you go through it, and then eventually you find love for it, and you see why it had to happen. You see exactly why it had to happen. Yeah, cool. I think I'm gonna leave it here. I'm still getting something. I'm getting the words hurry, like hurry into this new paradigm. But it's not like it's not that I'm telling you like you should hurry. No time whatsoever. But it's like a momentum is so strong that it just kind of pulls you in it. And that creates some sort of a hurry. It's like inevitability, I would say, rather. It's inevitability. It's like you're already there. It gives me a memory of how I okay, well, it's a little bit off topic, but I'm going to say it as it started. I was once standing next to a boat parking lot here in Berlin, and I was looking at a boat parking lot. And I was thinking, how would it be to have a boat? And then I had this whole body feeling, which is a little bit different than the one that I actually painted here, but it's kind of in a similar area. It's like in the same lane, but different. I had the feeling that I do have a boat, but it's in Finland. And I've already in that moment experienced myself living in Finland, having a boat over there, having a parking lot for the boat, and remembering myself being in Berlin looking at the parking lot. And being in this moment of, well, my physical body is here in Berlin, but I feel like this, I'm just living a memory. It's that kind of inevitability. It's that kind of like a full body feeling. I'm not in Finland yet. Anyway, I gotta finish this. Done. Yeah, you see, that's a little bit tricky with outros because sometimes, yeah. I feel like this painting is one of those that you can paint and then go have a cup of coffee or tea and then come back and then sit in front of it and then just let it speak to you across half an hour. And then have a cookie and then have a side topic and then talk about something else and then come back to the painting and see what else it wants to say. It's one of those. Yeah. So let's... I kind of feel like I have to wrap it up in order to keep it compact for the YouTube, but it wants to take some time and space. Yeah, well, let me go get a cookie. Yeah, I'm feeling like the presence of future self holding a hand back on my heart and just kind of pulling into a direction. Yeah. I see a hook, I see fishes, I see aliens. I see alternate lifelines that are happening independent from this lifeline. So although this seems like one big major arcana happening in life, whenever this finds you, whenever this relates to you, this is not all consuming. So there are still some things that are happening parallel to this. It's like, yeah, this will shift things in a big way, but there are still some lines of life that are happening independently of this. It's kind of like you create your own little corner of the universe that's just for yourself, and that doesn't change regardless of where you're going, who is there, when, how, why. Yeah. I will get back to this painting if I feel like I need to. But for now I'm gonna leave it here. Yeah. Anyway. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing the energy with me here. Thank you for supporting the channel. I hired myself to be here, so I would highly appreciate if you like, subscribe, comment, do whatever you gotta do on your side. That supports the channel. I highly appreciate that. If you want your own personal painting, the link for that is shortly in the description. Those links that are down there, I'm working on it. I just don't vibe with everything being all over the place. So I'm working on putting it all together somehow in a way that it makes sense, that it's not just so overwhelming with the amount of links. So those links that are down there, they are there for now, but I'm preparing something a little bit more compact. But if you need a personal painting or personal reading, the link for it is down there in the description. Once again, thank you for being here. Ciao.